Hello.
Hello. Hey,
Good
hey.
morning. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm sitting outside, so if just tell me if the sound is bad or is something wrong, and I can go inside. Okay.
Okay. So far, so good.
So far, so good. That's nice.
It's a nice day outside. Yep.
Yeah, finally, actually, it's been quite the winter here. Yeah, it's good with with some slightly warm weather.
And when it comes to writing music, do you prefer the winter or you prefer the summer days?
I actually prefer autumn and winter. That's usually when making music. Yeah, it's been like that for quite some time, actually. When and especially here in Norway, one of the first days you stick your nose outside in the late autumn, and you can smell the winter. It's very yeah, it's inspiring.
Yeah. And when it comes to the new record, it Beckons Us All. When did you guys start working on the songs?
Well, since I would say, what year is it now? Okay, okay. I guess I started in the autumn 22.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I have a different. I guess Fenris and me have different ways to write music. I guess I'm a bit more. I don't know how people make music anyway, but at least I do. I do some, initial ideas that I work on, and but I also like to have some lyric, and I, get a sense of where this is going. So, but it's basically very random stuff because we are mixing genres all the time, and so there's no way that we can foresee what kind of record the next record will be. So
It's important for you to mix those those genres, so to say, because obviously you guys are known for those first records of Darkthrone. They became staples for black metal and for
yeah,
certain type of music. But for you
yeah,
as a musician, it's important to get a bit away from that and just keep evolving.
yeah. I would say so. It's since we don't use any time on live playing. We can focus all our energy on being creative, and I think that's a good thing. And after all these years, it will be very strange for us to stay in the same musical landscape that we. It's always evolving, and I think is one of the great things about being in this band, is that there's basically no limits, and we don't have anyone expecting anything from us somehow. But yeah, it's good. It's a good thing. We are feeling very free, and being two guys that are deeply into music of all kinds. That's so yeah, that's nice.
You're saying that it's good to be free, and you were talking about people don't know what to expect, but every time you guys put out a record, there is always someone that will say it's not like Panzerfaust, it's not like a blade in the northern sky.
Yeah,
You have
I have to say at this point that is actually a bit cute, because okay, let's put it this way. We are doing different genres, okay, and the thing is that we have every musical door open, and so I wouldn't close the door on like Under Full Moon stuff. I wouldn't close it because we have every door open, but most likely we will not we will not continue to that path. So yeah.
And
yeah, well, it's difficult, but people. I think most of the people are expecting us to. I don't know what people expect, but I have no idea.
What I think, from me talking to other music fans, they always, they always have fond memories of those earlier Darkthrone records, and
Yeah.
somehow they still expect, even after so many records that you put out after and changing, evolving musically. I think deep down inside, people still think it would be nice if they would just go back
Yeah.
to the record like that.
Yeah, it's. I think it's a bit weird. I mean, if that's what they're expecting, they can wait for a long time. But as I said, every musical door is open. But on the path we are now, I think we are heading more towards, our demo days somehow. But we'll see. We like every kind of music and metal music and heavy metal stuff. Everything. We are mixing in everything.
And one thing that I think people forget, it's you're not the same guy that you were 30 years ago.
No.
People change, and so does everything else. You cannot expect to be on the same frame of mind, having the same feelings, after. But I mean, if you have those feelings after 30 years, maybe you should talk to a doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. When what can I say? It's very. The path we are on is it's always going to. I mean, you have to make music with passion, otherwise it's unnecessary stuff. Because so as long as the passion is there for black metal bands to play old school black metal, that's fine. As long as the passion is there, it's all right. But so we have to take care of our own band and what is our passion now, and so that's where it stands, really.
And then, to be honest, black metal has changed quite a lot as well musically. You see, those raw days of playing that raw music is almost gone. You still have a few bands that do that, but most when you affiliate an act with black metal, you say a band like Dimmu Borgir, for instance, or Cradle of Filth, it's a different direction from what it was originally. And what I mean, I don't like labels a lot, so for me it's either it's metal or good music, or it's not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for the songwriting process, you start in autumn 2022. Normally, how long does it take for you guys to finish a song? For when you're happy and say, let's record it?
I don't know. I would say maybe it's around a month or 2 months, you know, and when I have several songs, I will always play them and find some, I have to practice them as well, since I record the rhythm guitars in the band. So, but then when I rehearse them, of course, I can get some other ideas along the way, you know, just tweaking minor things that might, in my opinion, enhance the riffs a bit. But, you know, that's, yeah. So I would say, yeah. So for me to do the songs on the new album, I guess I used 6 months before we go into studio, and then everything is all right. Yeah, you have to kind of get the peak performance when you are in studio, and so you have to know the material well, and because we use very short amount of time in the studio, and that's something we choose ourselves to do, and we know we can pull it off, but every time we are in the studio, it's a bit tense atmosphere, you know, the first couple of days of recording, because we are back in the saddle again, and we know we have to, you know, do this, and but as long as we after a couple of days we have control over the situation, and we feel a bit more calm, and yeah, that's so there's no not much fun, you know, being in studio with us, because there's just a lot of work, and because of the short time frame, so there's not much fucking around, and but after some days we loosen up a bit, you know, have a drink, you know, have a laugh. But the first couple of days, not so much, no.
And in the studio, the approach is always to record like drums and guitars live. That's always the way it works.
Yes, and I think that has been the base, you know, that is the framework basically on all our songs for many years. That so, you know, people want to, they call it see us DARKTHRONE live. They want to see DARKTHRONE live, but I don't see the point of seeing us. But if you want to listen to DARKTHRONE live, I think the albums are the closest you get, because the backbone of the songs are live recording with the drums and one guitar, and then I add another guitar, and then we, you know, add in bass and solo guitars and everything else. So, and this is and also we as we state on the couple of last albums, is that on the record it says no metronome since 1987, and this is a way for us to explain you know, why we sound like we do, you know. You know, I think both Fenris and me, we agree on one thing, and that it's much more interesting to play music with other people rather than a metronome, you know. Because when you have a metronome, the music can't really breathe, you know, and that is especially I don't know. I think that's important to explain, you know, because some people might say, "Oh, it sounds so. This riff is going too fast now. It wasn't, you know." This is the song breathing, you know, like, and it's passion. You are actually. What you're hearing is you're hearing the passion in the studio that we are performing live, and yeah, that's our way to do it. You know, there's many ways to do it, but I think using a metronome has been very common for a long time. Yeah.
writing that on an album. I remember back in the 80s, 90s, some bands would put no synthesizers where you and it kind of remind me of that, just to be sure that some rock bands weren't using anything artificial, so to say.
Yeah, I know. But the reasons for that, I would guess that some of the black metal bands that used synthesizers, in my opinion, might have used them a bit wrong.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion, and my opinion doesn't really count. But the thing is that when you get some kind of an artificial synth sound straight in your face, very loud, it doesn't sound right. It's now we are using synthesizers, but it's much more toned down, and it's just for enhancing the atmosphere in the right way. That's so. As usual, we are always right, and everyone else are always wrong. That's it's funny how the world works.
Yeah. And and I think you're right when it comes to using metronomes, because I think you kind of lose the feeling of the song. Listening to some bands in the 70s, Jimi Hendrix, Deep Purple, there wasn't any kind of metronomes or whatever. The bands would play live, and if there was mistakes, there was mistakes. Fuck that, But that was the feeling that they gave. And I think sometimes when I listen to modern productions of some metal bands, not all, but some, everything seems to be so right that it's wrong.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's one thing I really don't understand the world anymore, and it's for me. I know. I'm. It's just a side note, but I'm doing a musical project with a friend of mine, and he's not from the metal scene as I am, but we are working on very complicated material, and we found out that we have to use the metronome in order to get it all together. And I told him that okay, I agree, we used a metronome, but don't tell anyone else that I used metronome. Because but I think for some projects, I guess it's all right, because like the thing I'm talking about now is very, very complicated, and very the arrangements are complicated and everything. So it's get very difficult to just do this without a metronome, unfortunately. But that's the way it is.
Yeah. When do you think that project will come out?
I have no idea. We haven't. We are in no rush, but we made kind of almost 5 songs since November, and I've been spending a lot of hours on that one. But we have no rush. But and we don't expect. We have no idea what people think about it. But we like it, so we will just, carry on with it and see where it goes.
And that's one of the good things about music. When you're a musician, you have to do something that you're passionate about. You cannot think if your friend or someone else is going to enjoy it, because you'll be kind of strict to that. And I think that's the worst enemy of a musician, is to try to please someone instead of himself.
Yeah, but there's a lot of bands that are, and especially live bands, they would definitely put some chains on themselves, because since they are playing live all the time, they know what the audience expect you to do, so they really can't do anything else. It's like it's like if AC/DC suddenly on an album, played, 80s heavy metal, it wouldn't work.
No.
So, and I understand that, but that kind of music were their passion, But of course, when a band grows so big, like for example AC/DC or Metallica, for that matter, they know that people expect them to do something, and fortunately we don't have that expectation, except for the ones hoping for another Panzerfaust, of course, or the Full Moon. I don't. So,
and you will always have those, no matter what. And as you said, it's cute that some fans.
Yeah, it's kind of good. I mean, in 2024, and people still expecting some kind of Under Full Moon follow-up. I think that's good. Yeah.
On this record, there is, for me, a couple of songs that stand out. Black Dawn Affiliation and The Bird People of Nordland. Black Dawn Affiliation, how did you come up with the idea? Because it's the riff on that song, it's very interesting, the way that it builds up to the song as well. What was the idea? How did you come up with the idea? Was the person for that one?
Yeah, well, I can't remember that because it's so long time ago. But I had this, after making some kind of a couple of riffs, and I understood kind of where the song were heading, and also this choir that we did there in the middle of, I think that's Black Dawn Affiliation. It was important for me to, because we had the things were evolving quite fast, and I knew kind of where the album were heading. So. And then I get some, extra push to think ahead and do things that I thinking about and trying to execute them well. And of course, that kind of choir in there, instead of taking the short path of having some samples or anything, we just did the vocals ourselves. I did 3 vocals in different pitches, and Fenris did that as well. So all the 6 voices are then expertly put together by the engineer in the studio to make it sound like that. So we are very much on the do-it-yourself thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always nice,
Yeah, I think so. It's we take the time to. We don't do the shortcuts. Okay, yeah. We are doing the whole package, the long way. But we believe in that. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it all goes to the passion of making music. It's.
Absolutely.
I mean, it would be easier to put auto-tune for to sing right on pitch and use whatever samples to make everything sound whatever it is. But at the end, music, it's really the bass and the passion that you have about it, and you have to feel it. I don't care much about what happens in the pop music world because everything sounds so fucking fake. I'm not saying that everything is bad, but
no, absolutely. I mean, this is what I mean, because I really don't care about what other people will do or do not, because for me, when I listen to a record, either I like it or I don't like it. Yeah. It's simple as that, and I think I've come to the conclusion that it doesn't matter what kind of music you listen to. I think music is important for people anyway. So as long as it gives them some things in life. It's good, you know. Yeah. So, but you know, when you are playing black metal, you are not allowed to say passion.
No.
It's not dark enough, and you can't really eat prawn sandwiches. That's too fancy. Yeah, it has to be dark.
You just bring me back to the days of, you know, when I was a young metalhead and I thought I needed to have, you know, long hair, wear dark clothes. And
Yeah.
I couldn't listen to certain types of music because it would be a fucking blasphemy. And it took me, I don't know how many years to realize that I could be passionate about heavy metal without, you know, being
Yeah.
so fucking strict about it and be able to
Exactly.
enjoy the other pleasures of life.
Yeah. Yeah, but not, you know, as you're getting older as well, you know, we just don't care anymore. And like, I mean, we had a lot of, I think, you know, the first years of DARKTHRONE was very important for us as persons and as friends and as musicians, you know, pushing ourselves to the limit on the Goat Lord album, for example. And so we went we went all in, you know, and I think that's was an important time. It shaped some of the you know, of the foundation that we are as humans today, I would say.
And, you know, you know, this is the first time that we're talking, and you probably answered these a lot throughout the years, but, you know, why did you guys decide not to play live, you know, as DARKTHRONE? What led to saying, like, it's, you know, we prefer to make music instead of trying to travel whatever places?
Yeah, well, that's I can take the most easy explanation. It's that we don't like to travel, and we really don't, you know, like to meet a lot of people. We're basically, you know, we're not that kind of people, I guess. You know, that being on the stage, and I think that's you know, playing live and making music and albums is two very different forms of being an artist.
Yeah.
So I think the live bit, I think we see that a bit more as a entertainment business, you know, and we're not really into that. But sometimes I go to see a concert, and I like to, you know, sometimes being in a, you know, the last band I saw live was the American band from the 70s, you know, the Residents.
Yeah.
I saw them not far away from here, and that was great. So, but I don't go to much metal concerts anymore. I remember I saw Pentagram from USA in Oslo. I think it was 2011 or something. They played on a small stage in Oslo, and that was brilliant. That was awesome. You know, Pentagram is a great band.
Yeah, they are. It's always nice to see them. And you know, just to wrap it up, you have that project that you're working on, more complex, with, I won't say metronome, but you guys playing with it.
Well, it's out there now, I guess.
And when it comes to, obviously, you know, this new DARKTHRONE record, it's new for us that are listening to it now, but it's kind of already has some time for you. Are you collecting already ideas for a follow-up record, or you prefer to leave some time and work after?
Yeah, well, now it's been a year since we recorded, so we have had plenty of time of thinking forward, and I think I'm quite sure that next spring we might go to the studio again, and there's some hints of where it can go. So we'll see. I've not really been, making much riffs yet. But when autumn comes, I'm there, and so we'll see.
I'm not going to say it. What fans can expect from it. There's no under a funeral moon riff coming.
I don't think so. It's not in the cards right now. I'm sorry, but we're going to follow our path, and it's going to be interesting because I've been thinking about there's kind of two ways I can go on this next album, and I have to try it out and see what fits, and we'll see.
Very good.
Because it's usually that when I'm starting on an album and some riffs are coming, I'm going to follow that idea very heavily. But this is all about rhythmics and style. So we'll see. But I can guarantee it will not be Under Fuel Moon 2 anyway. Again, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
People can hope. That's
absolutely. I mean, as I said, every door is open for us. We don't close any doors, so we haven't closed the door on black metal as Under Fuel Moon.
Yeah,
it's still wide open. But from what I can collect of, where we are going, it's not going to be this album anyway. And we know that a band can't really last forever. But so I think we see these years ahead now as some kind of a final stretch of the band. So, we'll see. There's no guarantee in life,
Yeah, exactly. I think the only thing that's guaranteed in life is death and taxes.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, they like taxes, they have just one tool in the tool shed. When shit hits the fan, it's more taxes.
Yeah,
nothing else. That's all.
Right. Thank you very much for your time. All the best.
Yeah,
DARKTHRONE, for the music you make. Again, unlike some other fans, I'm always open to whatever comes out of DARKTHRONE. So, always open to new stuff. I think it's important to keep an open mind when it comes to music. And if we keep an open mind, we'll enjoy life much more than we think. So
definitely. And thank you. And thank you for your time. And I thank you, for your time. And hopefully next time around we will talk again then.
Yes. Right. Thank you very much. Have a great day, and talk soon. All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.